Outlander Sam Heughan has pretty successful roles under his belt, even if not all of them have done very well in terms of the box office. And we're talking about Bloodshot, but it seems like he's still trying to make light of the whole thing by posting some exclusive behind-the-scenes stuff. And in this video, we're going to take a look at it. First, Sam Heughan, a man of many faces. Before we get to the picture he shared on Instagram, we have to talk about Sam Heughan as an actor. Sam Heughan is a 41-year-old Scottish actor. His first ever professional role was when he appeared in Island at War back in 2004. This was a show about World War II and how the Germans occupied the Channel Island. After this, Sam continued to appear in many shows and movies like Breaking the Mold, The Wild West, and more. However, he hasn't really gotten that successful as an actor until he got a role in the soap opera Doctors. He played Scott Nielsen, who was Cherry Malone's boyfriend, but he was secretly a drug dealer. This was probably the first big role, and he started getting a lot of recognition. He even got nominated for a British Soap Award as the Villain of the Year. Afterward, he starred in a bunch of movies and TV shows like First Light, Battle of Britain, and more. He also won many awards at the Scottish Advertising Award. In 2011, Sam landed a role as Prince Ashton in Hallmark Channel's original film Princess for Christmas. In this movie, he appeared alongside some pretty well-known actors like Roger Moore. He ended up getting a nomination for Most Inspiring Performance at the 20th Annual Grace Awards. In 2013, he was finally cast as Jamie Fraser in Outlander. He was actually the first cast member ever announced, and this ended up being his biggest role ever. He was a shoo-in for Bloodshot. Sam Heughan might have started out a little slow, but when he got big, the man got big. Anything that he was in was instantly buzzing and people wanted to know everything about it. This, with the fact that Outlander kept getting bigger and bigger, just added to the whole thing. That's why when Bloodshot was announced, people actually thought that it made perfect sense for him to be a part of the cast. He was a massive star, and so was Vin Diesel. Could go wrong, right? Turns out a lot. A lot could go wrong. Let's take a look at Bloodshot. Bloodshot had pretty much everything going for it when it was being made. The plot was great. The main story of Bloodshot follows an American soldier, Ray, who is played by Vin Diesel, and his wife. Both of them end up getting murdered by the leader of a group of mercenaries, Martin Axe, after they refused to tell him the details about the US military. However, Ray gets revived by a group of scientists. Apparently, he was the first human to ever pass the Bloodshot program, which resurrected him back to life. Not only is he back to life, but he also gains superhuman abilities like enhanced strength. When his memory comes back, he remembers that Martin Axe also killed his wife, so he starts to seek revenge. However, he faces a lot of obstacles on his way, but you'll have to watch the movie to find out what happens next. In the movie, Sam Heughan plays Jimmy Dalton, who's another patient of the scientist that brought Ray back to life. But Jimmy is actually extremely jealous of Ray and later becomes one of the biggest villains in the show. Bloodshot shot down. After seeing the synopsis, many people were super excited to see the movie. The movie was expected to do pretty well since it had some pretty big actors like Vin Diesel and Sam Heughan on the cast. On top of that, the movie's based on a comic book which did really well. However, things didn't go in its favor. Bloodshot was released on the 13th of March 2020, which was also the same month when literally the whole world went into quarantine. Because of the horrible timing, the movie only ended up making $33 million worldwide, which probably isn't even half of Vin Diesel's salary. If things couldn't get any worse, critics really hated the movie. Sean O'Connell gave the movie a 2 out of 5 and said that the director of the show clearly loses control over the narrative and prayed that the chintzy-looking CGI would save the movie. He then said, "It doesn't." Seems like O'Connell isn't the only one with a problem with the movie, since Chris Evangelista gave the movie a 4 out of 10 and said that it was too cartoony and said the CGI was terrible. The most common thing the critics and the fans had was the bad CGI they used in the movie. Not everyone thought it was too bad though. Molly Freeman gave the movie a 2.5 out of 5 and said it was fun to watch, but she said that Vin Diesel's lackluster performance left more to be desired. The audience gave the movie a B at CinemaScore, which is pretty decent, but still not that great. The cast was still all love. Despite how unsuccessful the movie was, the actors have mentioned that they loved playing their characters on multiple occasions. Vin Diesel has said in multiple interviews that he enjoyed playing the character Ray because he had superhuman powers and thought that his story was interesting. He said that Ray was probably the hardest character he'd ever played in his entire life. Sam Heughan also said that he was super excited and grateful to play Jimmy Dalton. He said that he couldn't say no to a movie that had Vin Diesel in it. He continued to say that while his role was pretty physical and he had to go to the gym almost all the time, he enjoyed playing the character because he got to fight Vin Diesel. From the social media posts made by the actors, it's clear that they had a lot of fun on the set of the movie. Even though Bloodshot didn't do that well, at least the cast enjoyed the experience. The behind the scenes look. Just recently, Sam Heughan made a really random post about one of his behind the scene moments with Vin Diesel while they were on the set of Bloodshot. In the post, Sam Heughan mentioned that he really missed being on the set of the movie with Vin Diesel, so he posted this. The picture is posted was basically Vin Diesel and Sam Heughan practicing a scene beforehand with the help of their director. Since they were just practicing, Vin Diesel was lying there like he was dead. But unlike a dead man, he still had his AirPods in. Seeing that funny little detail, Sam Heughan said in the post, I still wonder what Vin Diesel was listening to. Hopefully it was a Scottish pipe band. Let's just say the comment section of this post blew up, and people had a field day with just how funny it was to see the ever-powerful Vin Diesel just laying there with his AirPods in. But it also goes to show just how close Bloodshot was to the actors' hearts. Even though the movie didn't do that well, this little moment was pretty wholesome, and we're glad Sam decided to share it with us. Other Outlander news. The cast of Outlander share behind-the-scenes photos. Even though it's been quite some time since the last time we heard about Season 6, that isn't stopping the cast of Outlander from posting behind-the-scenes pictures about being on the set on social media. Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe just recently posted a selfie while they were still in their costumes, which let us see just a little glimpse of the next season. Caitlin O'Ryan also posted a picture on Instagram while she was wearing her costume too. She was posing with Rollo on the set, not too far from a building that might have something to do with the next season. She isn't the only one who's been posing with Rollo after John Bell also snapped a picture with him. Other than that, he also posted a photo of him riding his horse. Sophie Skelton posted a pretty spooky picture of herself walking through the woods and even put a black and white filter on it to make it even creepier. She held an umbrella and was walking away from the camera. She also captioned it, "Winds in the East," which many fans predict could be a hint as to what could happen in the 6th season. Caesar Domboy also posted a picture on Instagram showing off some of the props they used in the show, which tells us a little bit about what the season might be about. Fortunately, the filming of Season 6 of Outlander is actually fully finished, so we won't have to wait much longer to watch it. Outlander's Caitriona Balfe revealed that Season 6 was difficult for her. While the pictures she posted of herself on Instagram might seem like she's pretty happy, Caitriona Balfe actually revealed that filming Season 6 of Outlander was actually the hardest one she'd ever done. Turns out the Irish actress was actually pregnant behind the scenes and was expecting her first ever child. Because of the pandemic, they had to start filming in May of 2020, but they couldn't until late 2020 because of all the lockdowns that were happening. So she couldn't actually rest when she was supposed to. Top of that, it's pretty difficult for the team to hide her 6-month bump in the scenes most of the time. That's a wrap for today's video. Thanks for watching.